Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hamza and I'm a current first-year medical student. Now, I took the AAMC preview exam last year when I was applying to medical school, and I actually ended up scoring 100th percentile on my first try. If you want to know all my tips and tricks that I used and memorized, make sure to check my other video linked right up here and watch that before going through this walkthrough video. Now in this video, I'm actually going to walk through the exact practice questions that the AAMC preview provides for you on their website. And so you can kind of get your thinking cap on into what is the mindset like of a 100 percentile scorer. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get right into it. Okay, now if I look down, I'm just looking right here at my iPad, and whatever I'm putting on my iPad will pop up right here. So I apologize if I'm looking down, but I just want to let you guys know. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the first question that we have. So scenario 1, we are pursuing a 2-week volunteer opportunity at a well-regarded local clinic. Now, when we receive our course schedule, we realize the volunteer opportunity would conflict with our weekly required lab. Now, this is the only time that the lab is offered this semester, so you are not able to make up the lab. Participation in the lab will count towards your total grade. Okay, so looking at this, let's go ahead and highlight some of the things that stand out. So we have a 2-week volunteer opportunity that we want to do, but we also realize that this would conflict with our weekly required lab. Okay, what is this question testing? This question is testing, if you watch my previous video, medical student responsibility. Now, it's always important that you uphold medical student responsibilities. So whatever responsibilities you have as a medical student always come first. So keep that in mind as we look at this conflict between attending our volunteer opportunity with our weekly required medical student lab. Okay, so the first question says, skip your lab for 2 weeks to attend the volunteer opportunity. Now, this is saying that you're skipping your lab for 2 weeks. Does that uphold medical student responsibility? Absolutely not. Although you are trying to attend the volunteer opportunity, you are making no effort to uphold medical student responsibility, nor does it show that you know how important it is to uphold medical student responsibility. So this answer is going to be very ineffective. Okay, second we have, ask your lab instructor to identify a solution that will allow you to attend both. Okay, this shows that you understand that the medical student responsibility is, important. So it's obviously not going to be very ineffective. However, you're telling your lab instructor to identify a solution for you, and you're also putting precedent on attending your volunteer opportunity by saying that identify a solution that will allow me to attend both. So this is going to be an ineffective answer because you're not 100% showing that you understand medical student responsibility and that you are going to come up with the solution yourself to make sure you're attending that. It's putting the burden on somebody else to do that, and also not definitively saying that you know how important a medical student responsibility is. Okay, the third one is stop pursuing the volunteer opportunity so that you can attend the required lab. Okay, so now we're hinting at, we know medical student responsibilities come first. We are attending our required lab. However, stop pursuing the volunteer opportunity is not showing that you're looking for ways that you could uphold both. So because you are attending your required lab, which is medical student responsibility, we're going to mark this answer as effective. But in order for it to be very effective, we'd at least have to have seen if we were able to find a solution to attend both. But in this situation, we're just stop pursuing the volunteer opportunity altogether. So that's why it's going to be effective. Okay, tell your lab instructor in advance that you will miss 2 of your scheduled lab sessions. All right, you may think that this sounds good, that you're letting your lab instructor know in advance. However, you are missing 2 of your required lab sessions. You are not trying to work with the instructor to find a different day. You're not showing that your medical student responsibilities come first. So this is going to be a very ineffective answer. And lastly, we have attend the lab and investigate if similar volunteer opportunities are available at another time. This is perfect because not only are we attending the lab and we understand that medical student responsibilities come first, we're also seeing if similar volunteer opportunities are available at other times. So this is kind of different from our question number 3 that we looked at, where we stopped pursuing all responsibility. Here, we're not only attending our lab, but we're also seeking, are there any other opportunities that we can attend the volunteer opportunity as well? So this is going to be a very effective answer. All right, hopefully that helped with scenario 1. Now let's move on to scenario 2. So you are assigned to a small group in your clinical skills course. One of your group members has recently struggled with their assignments. The group member is often late to sessions, prepares materials of poor quality, and needs numerous reminders to complete tasks. Your group receives a new assignment that is due in 3 weeks and will be graded based on the group's overall performance. Okay, here we're testing teamwork. Do you know how to work in a team, how to bring a team member back who has been struggling and allow them to be in a space where they can positively contribute to your group so you can get the assignment done on time? So let's take a look at these solutions that we have. So first we have encourage the group member to speak to the professor about creating a plan to handle their workload. Okay, this is addressing what the student is facing, right? So we have creating a plan to handle the workload because the student has been, late to sessions and needs numerous reminders. So it seems like they're struggling and could, benefit from creating that plan. But the reason that this answer is not very effective is because you're putting the burden on the professor when in fact you as a student and teammate can help the student get back on track yourself rather than involving the professor already. So this is why it's an effective answer and not a very effective answer. All right, the second question we have is meet with the group member one-on-one and ask how you can help them contribute more effectively to the assignment. Now, this is exactly what I was hinting at earlier. Now you're taking the role upon yourself to help this group member get back on track and tangibly put a plan forward. So this is going to be very effective because you're not putting that burden on a professor or someone externally. You're taking on that yourself. Okay, third we have meet with your group and evenly divide tasks across all members, making sure expectations are clear. All right, so let's take a look at what our issues were all the way up here in our question. So obviously the student was late to sessions, needed many reminders, and made poor quality assignments. So by dividing tasks across all members and making sure expectations are clear, this may help the student acknowledge and realize how important it is for the student to contribute positively. However, we're not making any steps to identify why the student is creating poor quality materials or why the student is late to sessions. Is it a personal conflict? What is really going on here? We're not seeking to dive deeper into the issue and help the student at hand. So this is why this answer is only going to be effective because it does address the issue partially, as I stated in my earlier video, that partially addressing the issue is effective. But in order to be very effective, you need to address all the issues at hand, which this solution doesn't do. All right, the fourth question says, ask the professor to assign the group member to a different group. Okay, first of all, this does not create a solution to making the student come on time, create better quality materials, or just do the work that they were assigned to do. So it doesn't address that issue at all. And not only does it not do this, but it puts the burden on the professor to assign the group member to a different group without even the student diving in and seeing if they can help the student get back on track and, improve the collaboration within the team. So this is going to be a very ineffective answer because it shows that you're not taking any responsibility for something that you could help. Okay, then we have the fifth question, which is work with the other members of your group to complete the assignment without the group member. Okay, again, this answer is going to be very ineffective because you're excluding the group member, you're not seeking to understand why the group member is unable to complete their tasks, and in fact, you're also evoking a new issue, which is isolating that group member away from your team. Now, this can create tension and honestly a bunch of other issues that really make the situation at hand much worse. So this is why it's going to be very ineffective. Okay, then we have request that your professor grade each group member independently. Okay, again, this is putting the burden on the professor. for an issue that you haven't even sought to dig deep into and solve. You haven't tried to reach out to the group member to identify a solution or understand why they're not able to contribute. You're not taking any responsibility onto yourself, and you're just jumping to a solution that is putting the burden on somebody else to solve this issue for you. Again, very ineffective. So if you notice a pattern here, basically very ineffective answers don't take on any of the tasks yourself and put the burden onto others around you. All right, question number 7. Schedule recurring group meetings to review the work completed by each of your group members. Okay, this can actually be very beneficial, right? Because we're scheduling recurring group meetings, we're reviewing work, and this can help the student to, we can actually see what is a student completing on time, and we can foster those conversations early on to make sure that we're not waiting till the 3rd week when this assignment is due to solve the issue. So this is going to be a very effective answer. All right, now tell the group member their lack of accountability places the entire group member's performance and grade at risk. Okay, not only is this creating tension, but you're also telling this group member that what they're doing isn't good, you're creating isolation, you're developing potentially new issues. However, this is not a very ineffective answer because at least you're taking initiative to foster that conversation, right? You're telling the group member, look, this is how your actions are affecting us. And it does have the potential to foster a conversation, but obviously it's not in a positive tone and it could be done more professionally. So for this reason, the answer is going to be ineffective. It's not very ineffective because you're fostering that conversation, you're telling the group member, look, this is how you're affecting us. But it's also not effective or very effective because it's in an unprofessional tone and you're not really fostering a positive solution to this issue. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if it helped out, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And comment down below if you enjoyed this walkthrough and if you'd like more practice problems and how I solve through them. Anyways, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.